Welcome back. It's been a long time since we did one of these videos, and it's just a matter of COVID. I'm going to blame it on COVID again. COVID hit and pushed a lot of my travel into the same year. So I have been to 14 countries in 5 states this year. So it gets a little busy with travel, and then you get home and you're catching up. But the good news is I have been so encouraged by the monthly reports that I get on the videos that I currently have on YouTube. And remember, this is Chapel Hill Vintage Jewels. And I do the series that is 5 things to know about whatever with costume jewelry. So today we're going to talk about 5 things to know about DeLizza and Elster's Juliana line. So people just talk about Juliana jewelry. It's really Juliana line that was done by DeLizza and Elster. DeLizza and Elster was a company, and it started a long time ago. And these two, William DeLizza and Harold Elster, were really knowledgeable about jewelry. William was more of the designer, Harold was more of the sales side of things, but together they were very dynamic and a very successful company that started in their first manufacturing facility was in actually New York City in about 1947. The one thing I want you to understand, as I said, everybody just calls it Juliana, but really they did many lines of jewelry. Juliana, Judy, Fifth Avenue accessories, etc., etc. So it wasn't just Juliana that they produced, but Juliana's become so popular. So we're going to focus on that one and talk a lot about it. They also supplied to many other companies, and this is when you'll see pieces that you know are Juliana, but you see it from somebody else that, boy, it's similar. Maybe the stones are the same. The style, design is the same. It's because they supplied to many companies like Accessacraft, Weiss, Alice Cavanis, Schrager, Hattie Carnegie, KJL, and a whole host of others. I know they did some of Kramer too, because I'm a big collector of Kramer, and I run into pieces that look like Juliana. But the bad side of things is none of this jewelry from DeLizza and Elster was signed. Okay, so this is a picture of the tag that came with some of them, and I want to say a couple things. Number one, it has Juliana on it. It has original on the bottom. There's a little picture of an angel that was kind of the icon. But the one that you're looking at is actually a reproduction, which I did not even know existed. The original tags will be raised. This one's flat, so someone actually went to the trouble of reproducing the tags to hang on Juliana. That's why, if you're wanting to collect Juliana, you have to be very careful. Harold Elster died at a very young age. He was like 48 or something like that. And Mr. DeLizza, when he passed away, he had his sons working in the company, but Frank DeLizza took over the company in the time frame of when they were producing Juliana. Juliana is a combination of the two founders' mothers' names, Julie and Anna, so it's called Juliana. When this happened, they moved to Fifth Avenue, and this is about the 1960s. Limited years of production, and I went through all the research, but honestly, very conflicting information, but clearly mostly in the 60s. So how do you tell if it's Juliana jewelry? When you're out there and you come across something in an estate sale or a flea market, or maybe you're looking online for things. I certainly have a good deal of these in my shop on Ruby Lane, and again, that's Chapel Hill Vintage Jewels. So you're seeing what you're looking at right now, and I want to flip this over for a second, because this is the easiest way to tell Juliana. It's referencing the 5 links of construction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you turn a bracelet over and you see these 5 links, you absolutely know that that's Juliana Jewelry. And I also showed you a necklace here because that also has the 5 links. So let's say you're looking at a set of something, and the bracelet has the 5 links, but the other 2 pieces that obviously go with it are not signed. They aren't made of 5 links. You still can absolutely say that's Juliana Jewelry. This particular set, another way to tell is some of the stones that were used. This is called Black Diamond, and that was from the 1960s as well. And DeLizza Elster did quite a few of the Black Diamond. Very, very popular. Weiss also is very popular for Black Diamond, and I would bet anything that DeLizza Elster was the one that manufactured it for him. So Black Diamond, 5-link construction. You see a lot of different stones here. And I'm going to take this one and over here because I think you can see it better. So this one is the other thing. It's got open back stones. A whole lot of the, not all of them, again, making it difficult, but a lot of the stones will be open back. And that just allows the light to come in and adds a whole lot of sparkle when you wear it. I'm going to show you this one for a couple of reasons. Again, this is 5 links, not 6. You'll find some, it's 5 links. This one has dimension in that it's layered, and the way they usually did that construction was by riveting, but they also did a lot of design that had floral designs on the top. So some of these are more than a single layer. This one is very different because it's got rhinestones all the way around the clasp. As you noticed in this, most of them are fold over clasp. Now there's a famous one that I don't have any because every time I get it I sell it, but it's a pebbled one, and it's a painted cabochon, and it is called Easter egg. That's also another. We talked about the floral clusters, and you'll see a lot of those. So again, I'm going to push these aside so we can look at a few of these constructions. Here's a beautiful example of these little floral clusters that are at the top of this. There's the matching bracelet to that. And so I have a list of reference books, which Courtney and I always give you at the end of the video, but I want to go through some of them because they're really critical importance with Juliana specifically. The first one is kind of a technical book. It's called Memoirs of the Fashion Jewelry Manufacturer, DeLizza Elster. And this was done by Frank DeLizza, self-published. And you can still get this book, but it goes through in detail what types of stone they used, different people that they worked with, and kind of gives you the whole history of this particular line. So that's one of them. Another source, and I'll talk about some other books, but is online. There are a couple of ones that I use all the time, and I still use these all the time. One of it is actually a website that is called Is It Juliana ? All together, Is It Juliana ? You can go there and you can say, okay, I have a bracelet. It uses teardrop shaped stones. It's blue. It has speckled cabochons, whatever it is. And it will pull from its database examples of that, and you can see if what you have matches what's in there. Now that was done by the people who wrote this book, which is Juliana Jewelry, The Last Generation, and this is Paula Knutson and Carla Wachter. I found this is a good book. I found it good. It's got lots and lots of pictures and examples. And they have a database, like I said, with Is It Juliana, that is extensive. So that's a lucky thing that we have. There's also a Facebook group that is a Juliana reference study group. And they have very sophisticated people who put in a lot of different examples of things and have different discussions about how you identify things. This is Juliana Jewelry reference by Ann Pittman. And It is just an incredible book that has all kinds of examples and really goes through the different stones that are used in Juliana, the different designs that are used in Juliana. But here's the bad side of things. This is out of production. And the last time I saw one come up, it was $450. I didn't pay that much for it. But if you ever see this book in an antique store where they have books, collector's books, grab it. One is The Art of Juliana Jewelry, and this one is by Caterina Musetti, who is herself an incredible jewelry designer. Her photography is spectacular in this. So again, oh, I have something very similar to that. But you have to look at the stones, the construction, the designs of things. She does a lot of artistic photography like this. And like I said, she's actually a designer, so you can look her up and get some more information. And then I've showed you this, I don't know how many times, but this is my good friend Julie Carroll's 202 book. She's got 101, 202, 303 in production. These you can still get, although they're getting fewer and fewer. She's got information on Juliana in here too, and it's very good. Just FYI, a lot of people don't know this, but Julie is a good friend of mine. She actually lives in North Carolina now. She's got a website that's called Costume Jewelry 101, and it's where she's writing 404. She doesn't plan to go to production on it, and it's all about jewelry from a design perspective, color. She's unbelievable. So knowledgeable about jewelry. And she has such a different way of looking at things. But you could go there on her website and start reading it right now. My 2 sets from my own collection of Juliana. This one, 5-link bracelet, uses a hematite cabochon stone. And I just think that set is very striking. And then this one with the teal and green, I just love the colors of it. But this is the bibs that are so popular. This one is actually called Stick and Ball because of the skinny navettes and the big round rhinestones that are used in there. But just a couple of examples of things that I have collected myself. And you can still find things out there. I mean, they're not inexpensive, but they're not as high as some of the other things either. There was a time where, and everything goes up and down, right? There was a time where Juliana was going skyrocket. It's calmed down a little, so maybe now is the time to take a look. What you're looking at here is the set that I just got. It was listed as Juliana, I'm not sure. So what I just wanted to tell you is I still have to go look this up myself. And I won't call it Juliana because somebody else did. I need to go back and I'll go to Is It Juliana? ? On the web. And I'll see if I can find the style of stones that you're looking at or the construction of the bracelet. This one's not a 5-link, but Juliana did have other types of bracelets in the line. And then I'll go through the research. That one book that I showed you that I just use all the time, I will go through that and try to find one that's similar or one that uses maybe a different color combination, but similar stones before I call it Juliana. But I did love it. I'm kind of partial to these blues and greens. I think it's a great color combination. All right, thanks so much for joining us. We're glad to be back and doing this again. It's a lot of fun. It's fun for me. It is work because trying to condense knowledge into a short period of time is sometimes harder than just dumping it all. Sometimes I think I can more easily do a day of jewelry than I can these short periods. But hopefully you get something out of this and you learn something from it. And get excited about the jewelry. That's the other part of it. So please watch the other videos, leave me comments. I answer every single one of them and I read them all. So please stay active and share it with your friends. Thanks.